Yes guys, what's happening? Welcome back to another Sean Eats video. So of late I've teased Sean's travel guide, the top 10 places I want to visit, so here it is. So in no particular order, I'll share with you my top 10 places I want to visit in the near distant future. So we'll start in no particular order and we'll start with Florida. Now Florida has a lot more to offer than just Disneyland. You've got Miami down the bottom of Florida with the Key West. You've also got the fantastic nature reserves and the national parks, and of course you've got all the shopping and International Drive. So no matter if you're 70 or 7, Florida has got something fantastic to offer for everyone, and 9 times out of 10 it's great weather there too. Also, it's not too far from Mexico, so if you fancy the little excursion, that would be great for you. Florida is an all-round great family holiday. Another place I would love to go to is Sydney, Australia. Not only have you got the iconic Sydney Opera House there, you've got Bondi Beach. Sydney is just a great place for going exploring. You've got the great beaches for surfing, you've got great restaurants, you've got lots of nature parks and reserves, and of course you've got the great sports of cricket and Aussie rules. They've got the World Cup coming up in cricket in 2021, so that may be another reason you would like to go and visit there. But for me, Sydney has everything. So while we're sticking with Australia, another place I would love to visit there is Melbourne. Now if you are a sports fan like myself, Melbourne is the place for you. Not only does it hold the Australian Open, it has the iconic Melbourne Cricket Ground, which is the most famous cricket ground in the world, I would say, holding 100,000 people. Also, what else Melbourne offers, which Sydney may not, is it's generally better weather there in Victoria, and they have the iconic high-level skyscraper buildings, not too distant, similar from New York. Of course, Melbourne is more populated, so maybe it's not for everyone, but again, it has great beaches, a bit like Sydney, and it's just one of the best parts of Australia, in my opinion. Another city I would like to visit is New York. I was due to go there on my Trek America trip that I spoke about before, but as you all know, that never materialised. Now, the reason I want to go to New York is just for sightseeing, see things like the Statue of Liberty. I quite enjoy my basketball, so I would love to catch a New York Knicks game. Also, you've got Ground Zero, you've got the hop-off bus tours. If Broadway's your thing, you have got everything there lined up for you. Again, shopping, there's lots of great shopping malls and outlets for you there. And you've also got the 9/11 museum that obviously we all know what happened there. And of course, there's the iconic Empire State Building. So New York is definitely higher on my list than maybe some of the others I've mentioned, but again, somewhere I would love to visit. So another place I would love to go to is Johannesburg, and there's purely one reason for this, and I would love to go on a safari to see the Big Five, and a place where they recommend that you go is the Pilanesberg National Park. Now that's northwest of Johannesburg, and you apparently have the most beautiful safari ever. You see all the animals, the Big Five, the elephants, lions, leopards, rhinos, and you can even get out and pet the giraffes. And what I've seen from it is it looks absolutely fantastic. So if you're planning to go on the safari anytime soon and visit South Africa, the place to go to is the Pilanesberg National Park. So let's jump back to North America, and in particular Toronto. Toronto is such a great part of Canada, not just because they got the iconic CN Tower, but I like old buildings, funnily enough, and I've been to old towns in Spain, and it's just amazing when you look at them and you look at all the history and how old the things are. And in Canada, there's a place called the Historic District. Now, its claim to fame, it's the only pedestrianised area in the village, and it has more than 40 heritage buildings that's around there. And say if you've been to Spain, like I just mentioned, sort of old towns, the old villages, it's very much like that. And Toronto is obviously famous for the Toronto Wolfpack sports team, and they're also got a long heritage synonymous for hockey as well. So again, a bit of a sports themed, but I think Toronto is such a beautiful place as well, and I would love to do the walk off the CN Tower. So the last place I would love to visit in America is San Francisco. For obvious reasons, I would love to see and walk along the Golden Gate Bridge. But San Francisco, for me, is a mix between New York and Florida. You get the best of both worlds, really. You get all the sort of shopping and the main busyness of New York, and then you have the great weather of Florida and all the sightseeing. So San Francisco has always been somewhere that appealed to me. Of course, I have to have a sports element. The San Francisco 49ers would be my team of choice in that sport that I have a bit of interest in. I wouldn't say it's my favourite sport, but of course, my team would certainly be the San Francisco 49ers. So we've had all of the manic in places like New York, Sydney, Melbourne, Florida. Now for a more tranquil, relaxing holiday, and that would have to be Meru Island, just off the Maldives. Now the Maldives of late has been popularised by people with lots of money, so it's not the cheapest place to go to, but this island off the Maldives is the most tranquil, relaxing, peaceful place you could go to. So much so, to get there, you have to go on a speedboat for 55 minutes from the airport. It's got one coffee shop and 3 restaurant bars, meaning Meru Island is really, no doubt about it, the most peaceful, relaxing place in the Maldives. Another all-round sort of holiday resort which I want to visit, again, is something for everyone, and that is Cancun in Mexico. Now, there's lots of things to do here. Obviously, if you're one for sunbathing and relaxing in the sun, hitting the beach, this is the place for you. Also, if you like looking at the local culture, looking at the animals and wildlife, also a place for you. They have some of the rare species in Mexico. Also, the year-round sunshine, which is great, so it doesn't matter if you go in August or December. The weather is great, and it generally is cheap to go there against some other places I'll give you. Cancun in Mexico is fairly cheap. Again, you've got the shopping there and also the nightlife and the partying. That's obviously what it's probably most renowned for. So again, Mexico is a great place to visit and one I have on my list. So the last one is Dubai. I know that may divide opinion with a lot of people, with conflicts and whatnot going on, and people may not like visiting the Middle East, but it seems a cool place to go to. Quite a lot of people who I know have been there, and they seem to have a good time. And I think they're really trying to make Dubai a place where more people from the Western world go. Obviously, there's all conflicts and whatnot there at the moment, but I think that will get resolved and that will all blow over, and then it will go back to being a good resort to go to. Scuba diving looks cool to do there, and as always, they've got lots of activities that people like doing. Maybe not so much one for drinking there, but they've got the Burj Khalifa that people like visiting. They've got all sorts there, and it looks a really interesting place to visit. So that brings me to the end of this week's video. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed it, or if you learned something new about these places. And obviously I'll put my social media links down below, and look out for my next video in the next few days or so. Thanks for watching.